Holy cow, this is so cool. I can't believe he's doing this.
Now at 6, what one eyewitness thought was a cool aerial stunt turned out to be anything but. Their cell phone video captured the moment that Kenmore Air floatplane skimmed the water in the San Juan Islands, then crashed just off screen. We brought you the crash as breaking news 24 hours ago here on KOMO News at 6. Good evening, I'm Preston Phillips.
And I'm Kelly Koopmans. Amazingly, all 11 people survived, 3 of whom are still in the hospital. New video released just this afternoon by the Coast Guard shows one of those passengers being rescued from the water. The Kenmore Air flight took off from South Lake Union Thursday afternoon, headed for Roche Harbor, but it went down a little more than an hour later in Shallow Bay, north of Orcas Island.
We have team coverage tonight of the floatplane crash, including Jackie Kent with how the survivors are doing, Jeremy Harris with the early investigation, and Chief Meteorologist Shannon O'Donnell with the weather conditions at the time of the crash.
But we do want to start with KOMO senior reporter Chris Daniels, who talked with a man who was supposed to be on that fateful flight. Chris?
Kelly and Preston, good Friday evening to you from Friday Harbor. This is an incident that resonates with a lot of people here. Besides the ferries, Kenmore Air is the connection to the San Juans, and it was for one man and his friends before that fateful flight. They now have quite a tale to tell. This picturesque part of Washington State is a summer attraction and the spot that Cody Gibson had long planned to bring his buddies for a fishing trip.
I was supposed to be on that flight, which is pretty crazy.
Instead, he took an earlier departure from Seattle, and his friends jumped on Kenmore Air Flight 140 straight into Roche Harbor, where he was waiting.
I was waiting down at the dock for him, and like 10 minutes went by. We didn't hear anything, and then it started really raining and thunder and everything.
Then his phone rang.
I got a random call from a number, and it was my friend who used someone else's phone and said that, plane crashed, Sucia, it's on fire, all that stuff.
The flight's end was captured by multiple people watching in nearby boats. The pilot appears to take the float plane on a hard bank flying low before slamming into the side of Sucia Island. The crash happened after other longtime San Juan Islanders like Sally Tart Kramer describe an unusual storm move through.
And I look towards Henry Island over here, and I say to my sister, oh, wow, look at that storm coming in. Look at the rain coming in.
Cody says his friends were hospitalized in Bellingham.
They're doing okay. One of my friends had a pretty bad laceration on his groin from the seatbelt. Almost hit an artery, but didn't. Then my other friend was, he was relatively okay, but concussions a little bit.
Everybody here calls it a miracle that on a memorable summer evening in the San Juans, everyone survived and with a story to tell. Yeah, you heard what Gibson had to say there. His friends will be okay, but they have been through a lot, quite the ordeal, and he says, understandably, likely that fishing trip is off. Kelly and Preston.
You can understand that, Chris. We heard about his couple of friends. Do we have any other information about who else was among those passengers, either than the pilot?
Yeah, I talked, Kelly, with a lot of people in Roche Harbor today, which is just across the island from Friday Harbor, and I talked to a clerk at the Roche Harbor Resort who told me that one of the rooms went unoccupied last night because one of the guests for an upcoming wedding was supposed to stay there. They do expect the weddings here this weekend on the San Juan Islands to go on.
Chris, thank you.
Today, the U.S. Coast Guard shared these pictures of their response to yesterday's crash. Emergency dispatch audio paints a picture of the chaos and confusion for units headed to that scene.
One top aerials look like what they can. You need a hub, and we have multiple vessels in the water where drivers, and it is shoot, and they have people on board. There are at least other people that some other. We are still waiting on information from them.
In addition to the U.S. and Canadian Coast Guards, the U.S. Navy, several local fire agencies, and even some Good Samaritan vessels all responded.
And now tonight, a search for answers about what brought that plane down. The National Transportation Safety Board is now working to recover the wreckage and start looking at what happened before, during, and after the crash. KOMO's Jeremy Harris is live at Lake Union, where the plane took off. Jeremy?
Kelly, this investigation will have a lot of eyes on it because these de Havilland DHC-3 Otter aircraft, they're a critical link for the Northwest. If you've spent any time here near Lake Union, you've likely seen them coming and going, especially right now during the summer. So when one goes down like this, there are a lot of questions about what happened.
Just stay there.
Bystanders in boats raced to help the passengers and pilots of this crashed Kenmore Air float plane that went into the water off Sucia Island.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone made it away from the DHC-3 Otter plane before it burst into flames.
It's a blessing in every respect that we got all 11 people out safely, even though some have been injured.
Aviation expert John Nance says these videos and statements from the survivors will be crucial as investigators look at the cause.
You rule nothing in, you rule nothing out. You investigate absolutely everything.
Kenmore Air confirms the pilot chose to divert the flight due to a developing thunderstorm.
It would make sense to wait it out rather than to fly into a thunderstorm.
Flight radar shows the plane make an abrupt turn, then descend towards Sucia Island.
The conditions and weather at the time of the accident indicate very clearly that it would have been very reasonable for any airman who's inbound for Roche Harbor to not tangle with a thunderstorm and to turn around and maybe find a safe place to float while it went by.
This video shows the plane as it's descending with choppy waters from the wind just beneath it.
So we take the tail off and we inspect this whole area.
We talked to the airline back in 2023 when they were helping the NTSB develop a safety fix after a DHC-3 crashed off Whidbey Island in 2022, killing 10 people. It was not Kenmore's plane that crashed that year, but the NTSB knew Kenmore engineers were the experts in the DHC-3 type.
It's a very tough aircraft, well built, and with the turbine engines that have been installed on them, even more reliable and more powerful. I would never have any hesitation getting on board one.
The airline said today that the maintenance for this plane was up to date and it had recently been inspected just last month. The NTSB generally will issue a preliminary report within a month of the crash, but their full investigation can take 1 to 2 years. Reporting live from Lake Union, Jeremy Harris, KOMO News.
And Jeremy, some great details there on the aircraft itself. What about the company? Has Kenmore Air had crashes like this before?
Yeah, NTSB records show that Kenmore Air has had 7 air crashes in their 8-decade history. The most recent one was back in 2016. That is when a float plane crashed while landing near Lopez Island. The NTSB investigation concluded that that was a result of the pilot landing in very low visibility conditions. While nobody was killed, there were 2 serious injuries in that one.
And the investigation continues now. Jeremy, thank you.
It's time now for tonight's KOMO Pulse Poll. Just scan the QR code there on your screen to answer this question. Has this incident changed how you feel about flying on a seaplane? You can see a majority of people here. 71% say no change. 24% say less comfortable. Only 5% say more comfortable. We'll share the updated results tonight on KOMO News at 11.
The kind of plane that crashed last night was involved in another crash in our area. As you heard Jeremy mention, in September of 2022, a DHC-3 Otter crashed in Mutiny Bay off of Whidbey Island, killing all 10 people on board. That plane was headed from Friday Harbor to Renton Municipal Airport when it went into a nosedive and hit the water. An investigation blamed the crash on a failure of a piece of equipment that helps control the aircraft.
The video from the crash shows relatively calm weather conditions at the time with some clouds, but we do know there were thunderstorms in that general area. KOMO Chief Meteorologist Shannon O'Donnell continues our team coverage with that part of the story. Shannon?
Yeah, Preston, it's hard to imagine that the weather did not play a role in this accident last night, either in influencing the pilot's decision to maybe veer around it or just that really rough landing that we keep seeing in that video. Right now, you can see over Bellingham Bay, it looks just fine. It's a clear night. Last night, it looked very different there from Whatcom County across to the San Juans. That's why we had that weather warning going for that vicinity last night. It is exactly for this sort of a scenario where the weather might impact things and is inclement enough to get in the way of your plans or your travel. Look at these big thunderstorms we were cutting through last night at 5 o'clock, right in that vicinity, towering up about 30,000 feet into the atmosphere. They were extending from Whatcom County all the way across the San Juans and toward Victoria. Plentiful lightning in the mix there. And there you see the track of that seaplane perhaps trying to get around this thunderstorm complex and head toward calmer conditions. So again, when it's stormy like that, a lot to consider. You have the plentiful lightning, you have the low visibility from the rain and the low cloud cover. But you also end up with these strong downdrafts beneath the base of thunderstorms, something pilots don't have to contend with around here very often. It will be interesting to see how this plays out in the days to come, and the investigation continues. Now, more thunderstorms potentially in the works this weekend. We'll talk more about that in my next forecast.
New video shows the Coast Guard using a basket to hoist one of the survivors of Thursday's plane crash up to their rescue helicopter. Of the 11 pulled from the wreckage, 3 passengers remain in hospitals in Bellingham and here in Seattle. KOMO's Jackie Kent has been looking into their conditions. She's live tonight outside Harborview Medical Center in Seattle with new information from the Coast Guard about this wild rescue. Jackie?
And a lieutenant out of Bellingham tells me that all involved, a lot went into this, and that they are looking into all of the elements. Take a look. New video from the U.S. Coast Guard shows part of the intense rescue of 10 passengers and a seaplane pilot by conducting a hoist near Sucia Island in extremely windy conditions. They had some help from witnesses who act quickly.
There were numerous small vessels in the area that were anchored near Sucia. And those individuals, those Good Samaritans, were critical in providing aid to the passengers and as well as medical assistance.
While we have heard reports of a weather system at the time of the crash, Lieutenant William Trumper explains the weather did not cause any additional challenges for the rescue by air and on the water.
As you can imagine, this was a dynamic rescue, and managing the communication was critical to the success and ensuring the safety of the survivors.
Early reports state the injuries ranged from head injuries and broken bones to cuts and lacerations. 2 victims are at Harborview in Seattle, and 1 other passenger remains at Peace Health St. Joseph Medical Center in Bellingham, where 5 others have already been treated and released.
Any situation like this where you have a rapid influx of patients into a hospital can temporarily tax the system, but we had sufficient resources and the teams were in very good shape throughout the night.
A day after the crash, they are all considered to be in satisfactory condition, and staff could not project how long the recovery might take. Chief Executive Chuck Prosper says his team is now focused on the patients and their families.
And the healing journey that those patients will be going on. And that's our main focus right now, is to think about them and remember how they can now continue on with the next phase of their recovery.
We just learned the 2 victims here at Harborview are a man and woman in their 20s. It is unclear at this point how long their recovery is expected to take. Of course, we'll stay on this. We'll let you know as soon as we learn more. For now, live at Harborview Medical Center, Jackie Kent, KOMO News.
Jackie, thank you. Stick with KOMO for continuing coverage of the float plane crash. Just moments ago, we learned that Kenmore Air will resume operations tomorrow. While we are not on air, you can check out KOMOnews.com for more in-depth coverage of the investigation, previous crashes, and the weather at the time of the crash. You can also check out KOMO News' YouTube page for extended interviews and video from this story.